Welcome to week 3, day 2 of our Build Balance Momentum program. Today's posture of the day is one of my favorites, Happy Baby Pose. So Happy Baby Pose is a great posture to wind down a practice. It's a great hip opener, a great spinal massage. So we kind of opened up our hips yesterday with Yogic Squat. So we're going to continue on and kind of relax our hips now a little bit with Happy Baby Pose. So we're going to start out today in a pose a little different than we have in the past. We're going to start out in Reclined Butterfly. So if you don't know what butterfly posture is, butterfly posture is basically when you bring the base of your feet together in front of the body and allow your hips to kind of relax open, drawing your knees in towards the mat. So it's if you're super flexible in this area, you can almost bring your feet in towards your groin and still relax those hips open. For a lot of beginners, you can start way out here. It's all about what's comfortable for your body, so don't feel like you have to scrunch those feet in, close to the body. We want to just kind of get a nice relaxing posture out of this. So we're going to start in Reclined Butterfly, which means we are going to be on our backs. A lot of people find it comfortable to grab blocks for this and just slowly relax down, bring your the bottom of your feet together, and people will use blocks because sometimes this is just a little too much pressure on the groin area, so they kind of use the blocks to prop up their legs a bit, so it kind of takes that strain off of the groin muscles. So you can almost put it in like second position, right under your knees, if that's comfortable for you. I like to put it right up just under my booty to kind of prop them up just a bit. And then you just allow your knees to relax towards the mat. Feel free to put your arms wherever is most comfortable for you, so lying down at your side, on your stomach, whichever is most comfortable for you at this time. And again, as with most practices, we're just going to tune into our breath here. Allowing any tension to release out of the body. Trying to forget all worries that may be plaguing our minds at this time. Save that stuff for after practice. After you're good and relaxed and you can allow it to just kind of drip off your shoulder. Again, just tune into your body here, focusing on your breath. When you're ready, I want you to take your hands and place them on the inside of your thighs, kind of towards the groin a little bit. And we're just going to kind of learn about activating this area. So I want you to isometrically push your legs in towards your hands as you push your hands in towards your legs. So they're pushing against each other, and isometrically means they're not actually moving. So you're putting on this pressure, but they're not moving. So I want you to inhale here, and then exhale, push your arms in between towards your legs and your legs towards your hands. Hold, your knees might lift a little bit up, and then exhale, release them down. You may notice that your legs can get just a little deeper, so you may have to move your blocks to allow you to open up into this posture. So again, inhale here, and then exhale, push them together, holding, keeping your feet pushed towards each other, and exhale, release. One more here, inhale, and push arms into your thighs, thighs into your hands. Base of the feet pushing together too. And release. You even need to move your blocks a little more. And you feel that nice opening up of the hips of the groin. A couple deep breaths. You can move your blocks out of the way at this time and just set them on the outside of your mat. Kind of guide your knees in towards each other and then bring those knees in towards your chest. We are going to try to rock up into tabletop posture. So use your knees and rock along your spine, getting a little more of a rock until eventually you just kind of pop up onto your mat. And we're just going to come into tabletop posture here. So wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, fingers nice and wide, centering ourselves on the mat, core engaged so we're not hunching, dragging that, shaking that booty on the stomach to flop. It's engaged, so sucking it in kind of, lengthening the tailbone towards the back of the mat. We're going to inhale as we bring our gaze about 3 feet in front of us, and exhale our ribs to the mat, or as we bring our ribs to the mat. And then exhale as we tuck our chin in towards our chest and puff through the back of the back, pushing the mat away from us into cat pose. Inhale, dropping the ribs, gaze long. Exhale, rounding through the back. Inhale. Exhale, pushing that away. Come back into tabletop posture. We're going to kind of push our weight onto our right side as we do what I'm calling tabletop mountain climbers. So we're going to lift up that left knee and we're going to kind of tap it to our left elbow, even our left tricep if you can get up that high. And then we're going to inhale as we send our booty back, or our leg back, and we're going to press, we're going to do like a booty pulse, glute pulse at the top. So we're actually just going to do 2. So 1, 2, inhale, and then exhale, knee to tricep, inhale, glute pulse, 2 glute pulses. Inhale, exhale, knee to tricep, inhale, 2 glute pulses. Kind of do this at your own breath. It's a little hard to coordinate. So do what's most comfortable and most natural for your body here, and we'll just do a few more of these. Really activating those glutes as you push them. So feel like you're engaging, flexing that foot. Let's actually do 3 more of these. Sorry, I lied about a few. Tapping into the tricep and booty pulsing it up. Again, I lost count. I'm terrible at this. All right, let's drop the left knee as we bring our right knee up. Tap it to the tricep or the elbow, whatever most comfortable for you, and press that knee up and back, and then 2 glute pulses at the top, puffing through the back. Let's do it one more time. 2 glute pulses. Let's do a few more now at your own pace. Really engaging that glute, really actively pushing, doing that glute pulse towards the top, so pulsing your foot towards the ceiling here. Rounding through the upper spine as you kind of cap back into it. One more here. Good. Drop that knee. We're gonna tuck our toes under and come up into downward facing dog. So lift those knees and push those hips back. Pedal out those legs if you need to. Pressing through the index mound of your fingers, slight micro bend in the knees to get that spine nice and long. We're not sinking down, sinking our chest towards the mat. We're not doing that. We're just kind of getting a nice stretch through the spine here. So we're going to take one chaturanga, one vinyasa here. So inhale, come up into plank. Elbows wide, and let's tuck them towards our torsos. Come up onto our toes. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Ground through that left foot as you inhale your right foot up and back. Knees square, or hips square here. Exhale, tuck your knee in towards your chest and try to pull that foot in between your hands if you can. And we're going to take a right hand and place it on the inside of the foot. For runner's lunge, really feel like you're pulling your hips in towards the floor here. Feeling that nice stretch. Breathe through this posture. If you can, take your right hand and kind of push your knee open to really open up those hips just a bit more. If this is too uncomfortable for you, you can just rest in the lunge. You do not have to do this. Good, and release. And we are going to drop our left knee towards the mat. And we are going to straighten out our right knee, bringing our hand to the other side of the foot now. And we're going to get a nice hamstring stretch. So we're going to inhale, bending that front knee, straightening out that left leg. Spine long. And exhale back into the hamstring stretch. Inhale, bending that front knee. Sinking deep into our hips. And exhale into the hamstring stretch. One more here. Inhale, coming forward. Spine long. Exhale into the hamstring stretch. Inhale forward. Let's lift that back knee up. You can hop that foot in just a little bit if you need to. We're going to come up into Crescent Lunge. So ground your weight through that front foot. Really make sure you have your weight in that foot. And this will allow us to rise up into Crescent Lunge. Light micro bend in the back knee here. Legs active. Arms high. We don't want too much of an anterior tilt of the pelvis here. We don't want too much of this. So lengthen that tailbone down. Even if that means you have to bend that knee, the back knee, just a little bit more. That's okay. We're just gonna clasp our shoulders, or our elbows if you can. Clasp opposite elbows, as long as the bun in your hair isn't in the way. See if you can open up, squeezing those shoulder blades together. Breathe through the stretch here, sinking into that front leg even more if you can. Shoulder blades squeezing together. Now straighten that right front leg. Twist, twist, twist into a wide-legged stance. Let go of your elbows and wrap your hands behind your back. Grasp your hands behind your back. Open up your chest and hinge forward at the waist. Release, 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 release. Allowing your shoulders to kind of drape open here. And just feel this nice stretch. Deep breaths. Inhale here. Exhale, release your hands to the mat. And let's walk our hands to the other side. So left foot on the outside of the left hand. We're going to sink into this posture, feeling that nice stretch through the hips. Great. Take your right hand if you can and open up those hips. Feel that nice stretch. Release your hand back down to the outside of your foot. We're going to drop that right knee in towards the mat. We're going to inhale, lengthen our spine. I sometimes come up onto my fingertips for this. It gives me more lengthen the spine. And then exhale, bend that back leg as you straighten out the front one, keeping your foot flat on the mat if you can, and exhaling into your leg, into your shin. Feel that nice hamstring stretch. Inhale, spine long. Gaze up. Exhale. Nice hamstring stretch, sinking into your leg. Notice I'm still keeping a micro bend in this knee to protect the joint. Inhale. Feel that nice stretch through the groin. Exhale. Inhale. This time we're going to pop up that back knee. Maybe even bring the foot in just a bit closer to get a lot of our weight onto this front leg. And we're going to rise up into Crescent Lunge. Again, lengthening our tailbone down, feeling a little micro bend in that back knee, sinking into the posture. Arms high, relaxing our shoulders back. Holding here. Sinking just a little lower if you can. Straightening out that left leg. We're going to pivot and come into a wide stance. Again, we're going to wrap our hands behind our back as we hinge forward at the waist. Release, release, release. Release your hands to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. We're going to walk our feet in just a little bit to just outside of hip distance apart. We're going to bend our knees and we're going to come into that yogic squat we learned yesterday. Feel free to, again, place a block under your booty if you need a little support in this posture. Think about pushing our elbows into our knees, opening up those hips, and pushing our knees into our elbows. Lengthening through the spine here. We want our heels touching the mat. If they are unable to touch the mat, you can place a towel or a blanket under your heels to get, that nice lengthening. That allows us to feel that downward motion of the body. So we really want those heels touching. Breathe here. And we are going to release, so let's drop our booty to the ground. We're gonna come into regular butterfly again. So bases of our feet together at whatever distance away from the body that is most comfortable to you. I like to cup my feet with my hands. Release those knees. If it bothers you, you can always grab your blocks and put them in whatever position allows you to get a little relief if it's just too intense for you. Release your feet or release your hands from your feet. And inhale your arms up. And then exhale, let's lateral stretch to the right side. So dropping the right hand to the mat and exhaling that left hand over the body, keeping your sit bones on the mat. So don't let that hip raise, keeping those sit bones on the mat. Just deep inhale and exhale. Each exhale, imagine your hips opening just a little bit wider, your knees getting closer to the mat, and sinking a little deeper into the stretch. Inhale, rise up to center. Exhale, let's bring that right arm up and over to the other side. Again, keeping the sit bones on the mat. Even add in a nice little neck stretch here, so like a no motion with your neck. Always feels so good. And let's release back to center. We're gonna kind of twist so we're facing the front of our mats. And we are going to slowly release ourselves onto laying down on our mats. We're going to release our feet and bring our knees in towards our armpits as we come into our pose of the day, happy baby pose. See if you can grab the outside of your feet with your arms and pull those knees in towards the armpits. We want to try to keep our hips on the mat, or the base of our booties, our lumbar spine on the mat if you can. But if you can't, it's okay to just kind of release your legs just a little bit to give you that little extra comfort in the pose. So keep your arms on the outside of your legs and imagine just pulling your knees in towards the floor here. Try not to have too much tension in the lumbar spine at this time. And if you want to do some nice side to side rocks, that's okay too. So just rock side to side like a happy little baby. Happy little baby. You'll see this pose in a lot of practices. It's a very popular posture to wind down the body and give the spine a nice massage. Good, and we're going to release our feet. Just bring our knees in towards our chest here. When you're ready, you can take your right or your left hand and bring your knees over to the left side of the body. Getting a nice stretch, resting your feet on the mat. The knees don't have to be touching the mat, or your right knee doesn't. Release your right hand out to the side and follow it with your gaze. Relaxing both shoulders, still on the mat. Bring your knees back up and take them to the right side of your body, gently resting your knee on the mat and your left hand out to the side, following it with your gaze. You can keep your eyes open or closed at this time. A couple deep breaths. Come back up to center, again squeezing our knees in towards our chest. This time really give it a full body squeeze. Hold here. And exhale, release. Coming into corpse pose for Shavasana. Just allowing your body to rest. Relax your shoulders towards the mat. Relax your feet. Allow your fingers to curl. Releasing control over your muscles. This is allowing them to flop towards the mat. Notice if you're holding any tension in your upper back or feet, or your arms or shoulders. Just relax them with every exhale. And bring your attention back to your breath.